Transmission start. Welcome to Where Did the Road Go? Join us as we wander off the path and explore lost history, consciousness, the paranormal, unexplained mysteries, alternative thought, and much more. We are present on the web at wheredidtheroadgo.com. Now here is your host, Soraya.
So this is something new that we're trying with Where Did the Road Go, where we're going to do short little bits here and there, as well as the main show. Nothing else is going to change. We're not taking anything away. But for events like this that people are talking about, doing a short little, in this case, about 11-minute show, talking about the Calvine photo that's been in the news lately. And we discuss it here. And I guess let me know what you think. Do you like the short little blips here and there? In which case we'll do plenty more of them. Yeah. And of course, like I said, it's not going to impact the main show. This is not like a format change or anything like that. This is just in addition. And of course, patrons will still get this first. If you want to become a patron, wheredidtheroadgo.com. It's only $3 a month. Helps us out greatly. And here you go. Our conversation about the Calvine photo. Welcome to this short edition of Where Did the Road Go? And I have with me Super Inframan and Christopher Ernst.
Hello, hello.
And this is something we don't normally do, but maybe we'll do more often if people like it. Just grabbing something that's been being talked about and I've been asked about a bunch, and just doing a short little bit on it, not a full show. And in this case, it's the Calvine photo. I'm not sure which one it is, honestly. I think it's Calvine.
Yeah. I think so too.
It's one of those I've never heard pronounced.
But it's so the image was titled "The Calvine Photograph" and originally handed over to Scotland's Daily Record newspaper, and then the Ministry of Defence in the early 90s. Since that time, it was never seen by the public. Reports said that the photograph was captured on the 4th of August, 1990, about 35 miles northwest of Perth, near Calvine. And what it is a very clear picture of a UFO, and I mean that in the literal term, an unidentified flying object. And a plane near it. What looks like a fighter jet.
Yeah. And there was a lot of speculation, for years by I think different people that had seen this, of what it looked like, and people had drawn mock-ups of what they thought it looked like and stuff like that. But it was reputable for being incredibly clear and people being able to, essentially really see what was going on.
Yeah, it was interesting. When it got circulated online recently, some of the reconstructions got mixed in with people thinking that it was the photo.
Yes.
They did. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. And some of the reconstructions are like, they're too good, And when you see the original, it's like, it can look a little fuzzy when you zoom in and things like that. One of the reconstructions I saw had almost like an organic look to the UFO. And I think somebody had ran it through one of the AI art generators or something to enhance it. And it just, I don't know, it was a neat look, but it's not something that's actually present in the real photo.
Yeah.
The thing about this, like any of this stuff, whether or not it's a real photo really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, when I look at this, I'm like, okay, I already know there's a real UFO phenomenon, so I don't need to prove a photo to prove it, and this photo doesn't tell us what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a non-point, really, and they're saying it's the clearest. I know Jeff Ritzman had one because Jeff did photo analysis on this stuff, and he said that he had one that was really clear. I think it was taken in Italy. And it was a public photo, but I don't remember where. I don't remember any of the details anymore. It was so many years ago. But it was clearer than this. And he's like this. He goes, I believe this is a real photo of an unidentified flying object.
Right.
The thing is, though, again, it doesn't give us any more information than we already had, unless you just don't believe in this stuff, in which case most of those people are trying to find ways to explain away the photo.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I was looking at some of the posts that Nick Pope made on Twitter about it, because he alluded that was the one hanging on the wall of his office when he worked at was his Ministry of Defense? I forget.
Yeah, MOD.
Yeah. And basically what he was saying was like, I can't tell you that this is a UFO. I just can tell you that I can't rule it out. And I thought that was a really fair way to talk about it, because it's like, the phenomenon is real.
Yeah.
I can't rule out the possibility that this is not that. I saw people, turning the photo upside down and saying that it's a reflection in the water. And, people will hate me for this, but I could see that point too. But
it absolutely looks like it. I completely agree with you. And as somebody, I probably sound stupid saying this, but it's true. I mean, as somebody who I teach lens-based technologies for a living, so I know a little bit about how photography works, and it is difficult from at least if there was a better resolution, and not resolution, but if it was a denser negative, or if we had the original negative that we could work with to see if there was any more detail, some of that sort of cloudiness that's behind there, we might be able to see if that looks more like a still body of water on a cloudy, diffuse day, because the way that the angle of the fence and the way that the angle of the overhanging trees are, it could be a downward angle of the lens too.
Right.
You're absolutely right about that. And at least with what I've seen online when it came out the other day, there is not a resolution that is high enough for me to be able to see enough detail to say which is which, because it really could be either from the way that what's in there. And there are other things you can see in a negative too, you might be able to see more around the edges that would give you more of an idea of sort of context for how to place it. But again, it goes back to Sarai's original point, which is, here's another photograph of an unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
I think the hype of this photo, because it was alluded to for so long, got ahead of what we can actually take from the image.
Sure. Sure.
And the fact, so the people that witnessed it, I think, are still their identities are still classified in relation to it. Is that right?
I don't.
So it says, okay, Dr. David Clark, an academic journalist, uncovered the photo after decades of research. A copy of the photo was in the possession of former RAF press officer Craig Lindsay. I'm
pretty sure there's still unknown.
It says the photo was taken 50 years ago by map maker Sergio Loaiza, who was flying at 10,000 feet above the jungles of Costa Rica with a 100-pound camera, said reports. During his map survey, he snapped hundreds of black and white photos of Lake Cote and the surrounding rainforest at an altitude of 3,000 meters.
I think that's the other photograph. That
might be.
Not the Calvine.
Okay. It may.
I forget the name of that one, but it's the Google Maps one. I totally forget the name of it, but
yep, you're right. I jumped ahead there.
Right? Yeah.
So I guess we don't know who took this one.
Yeah, I was going to say that from my memory of it, I'm pretty sure that it was still classified until 50 for another 50 years or something like that.
It says the identity of the hikers who spotted the flying object has remained unknown to this day.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that would be helpful, but again, back to your point, Soraya, that Chris reiterated. We know the phenomenon is real, so
yeah.
Now, here's a question I would like to ask Josh Cutchin is, what does he know about that area of Calvine, Scotland? Because that's the Scottish Highlands, and dare I say that's some Fey country there.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So I wonder what sort of history that area and place has. And if it was near a body of water, Calvine Lake. Yeah, what the am I correct? Calvine Lake? Is that
so?
Okay. Yeah. What the history of that is, and with the proximity to what other places. We could probably look on a map, but I'm obviously not doing that. Well, now
it says that they actually watched it, and it hovered in the air for about 10 minutes before shooting upwards and disappearing. It was estimated to be about 100 feet in length. So, I mean, to me, again, that sounds like a very typical UFO encounter that somebody got a really good photo of. I don't really have a problem with this being a real UFO photo. It's just that whether it is or not doesn't really bring us forward in any way.
Yeah.
It's not enough to convince the naysayers, and the people who already know it's real don't need a photo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I'm looking at a map of Scotland. Well, I'm looking at Google Maps. Calvine is on the southern side of Cairngorms National Park. Cairngorms. So that I want to say cairn like a stone cairn.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. But anyway,
No, I think you're absolutely right. It's cairn, as in a stone cairn. That's not a. That's it.
So, but to your Faye point, that's an interesting name, and it is a national park there. That's just on the other side of the water from Calvine, and it's right next to what's the town here? I just lost it. Pillochtree, something like that. But anyway,
right or wrong, you said that perfectly.
Oh, thank you.
Perfectly right or perfectly wrong. It was done perfectly.
Absolutely.
There we go.
But yeah, I mean, that's really my takeaway. When people keep asking me, I'm like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't forward anything. It doesn't, it's interesting. Sure. It's a cool photograph, and it very well could be a real UFO, but it doesn't tell us where it came from, what it is, or anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
I also like that it's diamond shaped.
Yes. Yeah.
The double pyramid's good.
that is cool. And the very, I'm going to call it the tail end, the right side of it, particularly in some of the reconstructions, have almost like a little, I don't know, smaller triangle.
Yeah. And that's in some of the reconstructions, you can see that when it looks like, these reconstructions were done from people's descriptions of it, that people were describing what looked like some sort of fin, like you would almost see at the end of a Zeppelin. So I do wonder if, there is a better resolution print of this photograph that really has more details that make it, obvious that this is the sky.
Right.
Not that would do anything for us, but
right. And that's what it comes down to in the end. Is it doesn't really help one way or the other. It's just kind of a neat photo.
Exactly.
I agree.
All right. Well, people obviously can leave comments and tell us what you think. And that's it for this short little Where Did the Road Go adventure. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Are you fascinated by UFOs, the occult, strange history, and more? On October 14th through the 16th at SIR Nashville, the Strange Realities Conference 2022 will take place. 3 days of exploring the mysteries of the supernatural, history, UFOs, the occult, and much, much more. Featuring presentations by Steve Berg, Micah Hanks, John Tinney, Adam Gorightly, Tim Banal, Christopher Ernst, Samantha Engel, Recluse, Nathan Isaac, Melody Blackthorn, Dr. Future, Soraya Askath, Timothy Ritter, Aaron Goulias, Delaney Bowers, Olaf Phillips, and David Metcalf. With workshops by Kiki Dombrowski, Ren Collier, and Michael Hughes. Come join us in Nashville or online. Tickets are available at strangerealitiesconference.com. Find out what everyone is talking about.
We live our entire lives knowing that death awaits us. Many believe that some part of us endures. Eyewitnesses swear to have seen spirits of the dead haunting the living, and even appearing during alien abductions. Is the UFO mystery reaching out to us from beyond the stars, or from beyond the grave? This staggering implication demands not only scrutiny of the UFO phenomenon, but near-death experiences, ancient monuments, ley lines, the Fae folk, cryptids, and more. I'm Joshua Cutchin. I'd like to invite you into the Ecology of Souls, a new mythology of death and the paranormal, a comprehensive theory of all things supernatural framed through the lens of our final transition. Join me as we journey from the depths of prehistory to the present, from the outer space of the cosmos to the inner space of the self. Ecology of Souls, Volumes 1 and 2, now available from Amazon in print and as a combined ebook. Welcome to the Ecology of Souls.
You have been listening to Where Did the Road Go? This show is made possible in part from our Patreons, and we thank you and everyone listening for helping us continue this exploration of the strange. You can always find everything Where Did the Road Go related at www.wheredidtheroadgo.com. And thank you so much for your support.